Well, these and plenty other stories them day na the program for you. Plus, we go look inside one survey where some young group of young people them do on COVID-19 impact on market woman them. And Wakabot set day inside the program for you. Members say they listen to live on the internet on www.radiodemocracy.sl, courtesy of Osiwa and powered by AfriCell. The program na Good Morning Salone. You can be part of them by way you can send text message to the number 0779819181. 07798191 are the number for sending text message and be part of the program Good Morning Salone. As he gets from we headline then, today we talk to representative from the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education for talk on the exams them we then don't postpone. And for can talk on that issue today, we get now the studio Mohamed Sila Sise, Director of Inspectorate at the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. Good morning and welcome to the program Good Morning Salone.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
And same way so for can talk about the survey where some young people them do on the impact of COVID-19 on Makituma them. We get now the studio Teria Kurma, founder Feminist United Salone and Allies. Good morning, welcome to the program Good Morning Salone.
Yeah, good morning, and thank you for getting me.
Okay, we'll now continue for the with you. We'll come back to when I say the program Good Morning Salone.
The first issue we look at in the program this morning, Usai, the Chief Executive Officer and founder for Cribs International Show Cole, don't say the live band musical concert where Cribs International and Fritter on Court Band go organize Independence Watch Network go run through the Independence Day. Now for help reduce the past mark stress where say people they go through now with the COVID-19 Day Salone. It talk this inside one interview with Radio Democracy for Seka, the On Court Vibes concerts where Cribs International go organize April 26 to the 27. Also different people around the world go get for watch this show live. Well, for know how this go get for happen, we reporter Cheno Jallo gets more and he go reports.
Sound of musical instruments them na Cribs International then training center usai different artists them been the trained as part of the preparation for meet up the on-court vibe concert where Cribs International organized for salon artists and comedian them na the country. This idea come after the measures them where government be done put in place for ban people not forget in a one place because of the COVID-19 sick within a salon. Now for Seka this make Cribs International then decide for bring together then different artists and comedians they are for perform for people them more especially than fans them. Also fans them will get the opportunity for watch this show and then different social media platform them. Shokul na the CEO and founder for Cribs International, it talk more about the reason why make them come up with this kind of show.
Usually at this time, the Terry Boku Salon man can celebrate, but because of the coronavirus, all man knows it's a lockdown. So waiting and for most people, they get bored. But electronics make we know say there's a way for reach out to people and stay then get almost the same feel. Also because now Corona Day Independence for Bito, no forget Independence live, but in making it live, we also tell people and say, hey, avoid body contact, avoid.
But as Salone don't they record confirmed case them of the coronavirus sick and with the social distance we will body will command them, don't they ask people for the observe as we for attack the sick not for scatter all about the country. How this should get for Tanle? Now the question where the actual call.
But actually it's gonna be e-concert now electronic virtual concert. So nobody know there for day forget close to the artist. But what do they do? They do them from different locations because one show social distancing. They get the band we go station the studio, then we contact different artists them from the halls. We therefore get the comedian then where they come. Therefore make themselves then they from different location them, but they all therefore sync with the band. So in order for be so much a problem.
Close in one place.
No, in order for make anybody we go get like one I think or two that we go perform live with the band, but the rest all man they deny us. Okay, you therefore go to the Cribs International Facebook page or the YouTube page or the Instagram page. We will put some over the television. We get AYB TV and we talk with other television like Star TV. The concert now for you. Okay. For the first time, you get all MBB artists there. You know, pay 1 Leon. One start at 10 o'clock. We get the comedian will get Kindo, we get Obama, we get Faculty. The artist will get LJ, we get Mahmoud. You know the big names are normal because the essence is to pass the message that COVID-19 is real. It's an opportunity for use that following it for teach people and say, what's yan? Can you sanitizer? They go to a public place, wear a mask.
As not to secret say, sound system now one big problem with plenty entertainment shows them. Don't they get over the past years? Make have been turn the mic to the producer for this show. Will tell me about some of the measures them where they don't put in place concerning sound system.
Practically, sound get to do with exposure, dimensions, and a few other parameters. We got the best musicians. We know one particular factor because if you don't understand the notes and the pitch with regards to your instruments, and then you go see musician, they try for loud in keyboard, pass the drums, or the drums they try for do all that. The second aspect are the fact say the equipment will get now world standard, so we can assure every Sierra Leonean that we understand the complexities we get for do with data, internet, and all that, and we've been able to figure out ways to avoid glitches and things like delay, like the artist talk A, they take you 5 minutes for your year later.
Alaji Amadou Ba, we people can call Kimbos LA. Now one popular artist na Salone and don't do well in the entertainment industry for a long time now. And except now one pan the artist them we for take part pan this show. Tell me how prepared I be for this show.
This is my first time actually going to somebody to go into a new house. Yeah. You understand? Yes. And of course we get Cribs way the best sound system right now. If I'm allowed to say Africa, and of course we get one of the best band players on courts behind it. It's a live band performance. This is about something educating, you know what I mean, something class. So you're able to enjoy such performances. But for me on side, definitely yes, I'm gonna come through. I'm gonna give the fans what they usually they get more than beyond what they get. Because this time they go see on courts and Cribs, all those people they are so wicked. They make me become different guy with this performance. So when they are excited for
Alaji Amadou Ba, we people can call Kimbos LA. End up calling Salone people for ensure see then log in at them different social media platform them so that themselves will be part of this event for the Society for Radio Democracy. Me, Achem Nojalo, the report.
The program you listen to now, Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for a Democracy, 98.1 FM, 7:43. Now the time from the studio control clock, and we still get we guest them inside the studio. Mohamed Sila Sise, Director of Inspectorate and the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. They have to talk about the postponement of public exams them in the Beke and MPSC. As we all know, every year, May 1st week, now time for the MPSC exam, and right after that, Beke go take place. But this year, things need to go as planned. For can't talk about that, we get Mr. Sisi inside the program. Good morning once more. Welcome to the program. Good Morning Salone.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, as talk about the MPSC and Beke, what are the status of the exams they are now?
Well, as you rightly don't indicate now your intro, their exams here and exams them way for hold around this time, starting with NPSC where we can normally hold in early May, followed by the Beke where we can get in July. But this year, Fambulengo knows say the circumstances where we find ourselves not make it possible for let we conduct the exams there at such a crucial moment. And so yesterday we've been convening a meeting at the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, where senior officials of the ministry, including the Minister NSSF, and other stakeholders them, namely Conference of Principals of Secondary Schools, the National Council of Head Teachers, the Sierra Leone Teachers Union, Civil Society, and the Teaching Service Commission, will be sit down we engage as to waiting for the way forward. And at that meeting day, the general agreement was that it's not advisable for let we conduct the exam at a time like this. And therefore, we resolve for postpone them to a later date, where na July. So now this happened yesterday.
So postponing the NPSC and the Becker to July, before we continue for look at the postponements, let's look at the issues we get for do with follow-up on completing the syllabus for them picking here, where everybody be they expect say by now they get ready for getting the exams them very soon. How the ministry do ensure say them picking go able for complete the syllabus now that's sending at us because the schools then closed for the COVID-19?
Well, now all them considerations here we get yesterday, we decide say we will push the exams because we recognize say we've been cut the time short, so we deprive the picking them of the full tuition we don't forget, the preparation we don't forget before they go for the exams. Now it makes so as soon as we close down, we intensify with radio teaching program. That program they go on right now. And we encourage all we picking them for letting them listen to that program there. As Sidona also, the program don't almost go countrywide. Because we not only they use we own radio station, we also they collaborate with community radio stations upline, which we broadcast to the rich. And so we think say all the picking them go able to get access to this teaching program. And going forward we intend for intensify them, because we still meet and discuss as to how we go make the program better, so that we picking them go able for take the examination.
Well, on the wait for meet and Leona go review this particular radio teaching program for the picking them. How effective when I don't prove say it be right now, because we don't want for compare them to the learning way be done they happen at the classrooms them. For example, some parents they will still they go work. And then picking no more than us, so for ensuring that the picking really the follow up for completing syllabus. How effective the radio teaching program don't be?
Well, I know go on for Sidona and tell you say it's very effective or not effective, because now we they try really for conduct a survey for let we assess the listenership. Probably after that survey they are going in a position for say it's very effective or not effective. But judging from the feedback we they get from people them, through telephone calls and even physical conversations, we get a feeling say the program it do very well. It reach out to plenty picking them, and the picking they benefit from it.
This is not the first time for do such programs during Ebola. It been there again. Why now do a survey for know the impact of the radio teaching program?
No. I did talk about this time around. That cycle day of the Ebola in don't end, and I assure you say we've been conduct a research. In fact, 2 researches that we conduct. One of them, Plan International, being collaborated with we would do them. The other one, WISSF, as a ministry, now we've been conducting. And the report then they all show say the program has been very, very effective. And we get proof of that. Because Famulgo members say that year the Pekiners do very, very well in all of the public examinations. Probably even more than before, when they actually go to school.
So what thing wanna add this year, or what wanna improve on this year? We not been there the last year into this radio teaching program.
Well, we always there for try for improve on the delivery of we lessons. If you listen to the lessons the way we deliver now and compare them to the one them way will be delivered during Ebola, you will find out a marked difference there. Because this time around we actually pay attention to the lessons, and the teachers themselves we select them carefully. So probably that's not the difference. And if you get recordings of previous lessons during the Ebola and try for compare them to the ones they already deliver now, I should say Yusuf go attest yes difference there.
Okay, in name now Mohammed Sila Sise, Director of Inspectorate and the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. There they talk about the postponement of MPSC and Becker. The program na Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for the Democracy 98.1 FM.
Alright, the program they continue will come to the other studio guests now this morning. As we tell you earlier, well, Feminist United Sierra Leone and partner them do a survey for let them get the information about impact of the coronavirus on Maketum and them. While waiting at the purpose, we made them do this survey and all. I want to welcome once one at the studio, Terry Kuruma, where they are to represent the Feminist United Sierra Leone, and then partner them we decide for do this survey to the Maketum and them. But before we can talk about this survey, we wanna just don't do and then get on our findings them about the impact of coronavirus on the markets woman them. These are the very first time we will get you from the Feminist United Sierra Leone. Firstly, start for tell we first why una decide for get a body together, call them Feminist United Sierra Leone.
Okay, so thank you once more for getting me. So Feminist United Sierra Leone and allies, now a group of young Africans, we decide for come together because we're quite aware of the gender gap, the vast gender inequality, and we decide for come together and see how we can able for inspire equality through committed membership with committed partnership with men. So not all only organization where they absorb women them. We also get a very wider membership space for man them. So basically, it's about how we can transform society in a way that it will be more tolerant to the feminism ideology, once we make the goal for achieve equality central.
So from waiting una been do since una set up una body about 6 months ago or so, una really don't feel say man then they come on board for show say they're really ready for open the space for let this issue of inequality go down?
Yeah, of course. We get a good number of man them. We're actually there on board as at now. It's a journey, it's a challenge, and we're quite aware of the fact that society is largely patriarchal, and most of what we do now foresee how we can address foundational issues like stereotypical perceptions about what men and women can do and not do, yeah, because we believe say if we are able to inspire an equal society, it means society for acknowledge both man and woman and potential equally, and creates a habitable space for make them both exist and realize their potential basically. So that's one of the things that we focus on, and we put a lot of emphasis on young people for come on board the fight. We're aware of the challenges, but it's a journey, and gladly we're making progress.
Aware of the challenges, make we look at the achievements we don't make. What we can point at since we start to operate 6 months back, say yes, this now we landmark achievements or now some of our achievements there.
Okay, so like one of the things that we saw they look at now how for make let people understand first within feminism media. Now a lot of people get them perception about feminism where mostly can be interpreted as feminists then are people and we're not like we hate man them, for example, or feminists then are some angry woman them or angry people and basically in a society. So we want to change the narrative by first of all telling people that feminism now a drive where they advocate for equal space for both man and woman them on social, political, and economic platforms. Yeah. So we actually been start a campaign where we encourage people and for freely to waiting to understand about feminism. Yeah, because if we begin for address issues on feminism, yeah, we need for understand societal perception about feminism. So we open the discourse, we get a lot of diverse views coming in, yeah. So we're quite aware that a lot of people get mixed perception about it, because it seems to be a term that a lot of people don't consider for come with a very awkward label. So anytime you appear and you recognize, you identify yourself as a feminist, like people they see you like that kind person where like disrespectful or whatsoever. Basically it comes with a lot of stereotypical assumptions.
Gender equality now one way plenty organizations in the campaign for say man and woman for their side by side. Una they run a feminist organization, and you mentioned say una also get space for man then. When you look at the space of man then, how many space will they talk about now? So we they cooperate with now una don't incorporate on board inside this una drive.
In fact, we get a good number of man them. We really don't show commitment to the drive, and just as I tell you, we go now for try for explain to people, for simplify the messages, yeah. So people go move away from the older narratives where them don't get about feminism, yeah, for come with bad things, like like men hating, for example. So some people they talk say like feminists and they all are lesbians, them for example. So I mean a lot of people no want for proudly identify with the label because society they tag them awkwardly, yeah. So I mean on your question, we get a good number of mandem, and it's a journey for enlist as much men as we can, and we're making progress with that.
All right, so now let me look at the survey when I just don't conclude and pull on a report and our findings them now do. Firstly, why on have been decide for focus on the market woman them, taking into consideration the fact say the coronavirus not only they get bad effects on market woman them, but so many other sectors. Why on start with the market woman them?
Okay, first of all, the survey na a work we be done by a group of young people. So we get the bush thinkers, we now then create the survey platform. So basically they're the ones leading, and we have Feminist United Sierra Leone and allies, bush thinkers, and Inc. Media. Yeah. So we decided to look at women. One, women them we realize during emergencies, women and children, women and picking them basically tend to be more vulnerable, yeah. So market women them specifically because we quite aware of the fact that market women them find themselves in a life situation in which they get for like daily interact with different people coming from different backgrounds, yeah. And because of that, we consider them for be very crucial towards the prevention and community transmission rate of the coronavirus, yeah. So we decide for target them because we all know how congested the marketplaces can be, and we eventually na a survey we conduct for able to identify the lapses, yeah, and bring and basically analyze them and put them forward so relevant bodies then go take action on them. So we are quite aware say the marketplaces can be so congested. So take for example, yeah, if one market woman unfortunately be infected and then that person they happen to be asymptomatic, like they show signs and symptoms of the coronavirus, and that person that market woman they go on a market, it likely for come in contact with a lot of people where they can buy to yeah. So we they look from a broader perspective and from the angle of how we go scale up preventive mechanisms, yeah. How do we look at look at it from a data analytical approach. So we think it's a drive for help relevant bodies for looking to the things that we probably will not get right as far as the coronavirus response effort is concerned, and lay more emphasis on the need for improvement.
Okay, in name na Terry Kurma, founder Feminist United Salone and allies. We will come back to you after this break.
Salone Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile app, you can able for use Salone Link money transfer for send money to anybody elect you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office elect you not get the account number. Buy Ed-Salite, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You don't need for worry again but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for the boss man them. With Million Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all your supplier them, sell forex to Salone Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go to Salone Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
Alright, right, the program is still listening to now Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM, 0779819181. At the AfriCell number where you will send your message to and add your voice to them where we discuss now the program. You also get the opportunity for go on Radio Democracy 98.1 Facebook page and be part of the interactive discussion where we carry on with now the program this morning. Well, we continue for look at more issues in the program. Now we can listen to the speech where the president be make yesterday. As inside a Ramadan speech to the nation where he do yesterday, the president say government agree for make mosques and call prayer for let them make people know the time way them for the pray, but people not for gonna them mosques here for go pray because the ban still lay on public gathering. Well, now let we just listen to the speech where the president been do yesterday for sake of the Ramadan. We don't start.
My fellow citizens, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah ta'ala wa barakatuh. On this eve of the holy month of Ramadan and the feast of Eid al-Fitr that concludes it, I wish all our Muslim compatriots abundant blessings and spiritual insight. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept with his divine favor your supplications, and may he grant you blessings and forgiveness for your prayers and good deeds. Unlike in the past, this Ramadan is coming at a very difficult time for us and the world at large. It comes at a time when we are strongly advised to not congregate in our holy masjids because of the prevailing pandemic. My government has agreed with the Muslim leadership that although masjids shall remain closed, the call for prayers, azan, shall be sounded for both suhu and iftar to remind all fasters of the time for their obligations. As we observe, break our fast, and share meals, let us be reminded of all health and social distancing advisories. Fellow citizens, we are reminded at times like these that only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala understands our needs and protects us with his divine grace when our humanity and our very existence is threatened. Let us use this period of fasting to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his grace and mercies to wipe out this sickness from Sierra Leone and around the world. May the adversity and challenges we face as persons, families, communities, and as a nation be resolved by his divine grace. Let us pray collectively for a progressive and unified Sierra Leone. May our spiritual epiphanies during this holy month inspire us to live with clarity, purpose, and solidarity with our fellow Sierra Leoneans. I call on all Sierra Leoneans to show kindness and peace to our Muslim brothers and sisters as they observe this holy month in peace. Assalamu alaikum.
that speech there from the president as Ramadan speech for the year 2020, he say then go allow them call prayer and a Muslim, but people not for gather and a Muslim for pray because the ban on social gatherings still on. We go na the Salone Muslim Congress, who say the public relations officer for the Muslim Congress, Sheikh Ali Kale, encourage Muslim them for obey the rules and regulations during this month of Ramadan and follow government preventive measures them. As he say, people not forget and mosque them for pray during this month of Ramadan. He explained more to you, Kabia, inside this interview.
Ramadan, the month of fasting for the Muslims, we can once every year, and the fasting of Ramadan, a pillar of Islam, one of the 5 pillars, and we begin for fast when the new moon don't register.
This year, who stay with the expects for the Muslim begin for fast?
Inshallah, if they see the moon Thursday, we na the 23rd of April, Friday will be day 1 of Ramadan. If they not see the moon Thursday, Saturday will be day 1 of Ramadan. We that not beyond all reasonable doubt because we not get 31.
As the coronavirus don't come the country and since Salone begin get in first case, government through the Ministry of Social Welfare, we don't put measures them in place. They don't cancel gathering them, more especially prayers them for Muslim and both Christian. Ramadan a month of prayer and Friday or Saturday people will start for fast. And that nafila na one where we expect for more Muslim them. So in that area they waiting Muslim then they expect.
Apart from the protocols the way government don't put in place, in Islam, for save life, 9 can force. We know they're gonna mosque when epidemic day, when a pandemic day, when we get any infectious disease there around, we know they're gonna mosque for go pray. Ramadan, beyond Ramadan, because it get for do with the life of the people. So this time around, they pray in our houses then. All the houses then temporarily don't become mosques this time around. All man they pray with Saidi. Not to Salone no more. Even Saudi Arabia, especially they turn their way, Muslim they can visit like Jeddah, Medina, Mecca. Everybody they pray now in Us. So the reward we go get her.
Check, you don't say Muslim then gets for praying at the house. Then gathering back now one thing and more especially for the social distancing where government they talk about whether in a one part the measures them for the coronavirus. Muslim then get for gathering at house because you can see some house then get big compound, more especially the one that will not before nafila, then go to other people and gathering. So in that area, waiting will be your advice to Muslims?
No, we're in a partial lockdown. And we get for be selfish to some extent. Now family, with the prayer house, not for let somebody come on another compound, they can't join we. Now we did it.
So it's not advisable for let somebody like all in a one big compound so somebody they when a Muslim.
Yeah, well, if we all in a one compound, we know we safe. We can gather, we pray, but yet still we have to observe the social distancing protocol because it's all about life. When they talk about Ramadan, now we lived for see Ramadan, okay? Now we say if somebody be don't go, now a crowd, we say go get infected. Ramadan now for me midterm, it's not safe from my house. If we're not in a hospital by now.
Close we look at the business people, most of the one they can sell, and the time for cut fast now 7 o'clock. Most of the time some they don't use for cut fast now tongue. So during this Ramadan, we get to see that?
Yes. If you didn't you shop, they do your business now.
And what they can cut with the fast more especially, then can they come together and eat and pray and all that.
Yeah, this time around we never come together for breakfast. In fact, we get for introduce takeaway system, and that make with the advice.
How not introduce the system?
We start with the cook. For example, if we cook in our house for people them, wait the time they near for breakfast, then go come, buy foil them, take away. You come, we give you go cut fast na your garage, na your shop. Or any side we conducive for you. Wait till they try to avoid now the crowd. If follow it, they near we safe. So that we no go risk your life. We get for prepare food, inshallah. But when the time reach, we go down dish the food, put on a plate them. You can take your own. You go, we say you they go.
During the month of Ramadan, most Muslim waiting you wake them up for let them go able for eat sokoli and then pray for the next day for continue their fasting. Now we then kill the azan at different mocks them and tell them. During this month, we get for see that they happen.
Yes, we get for see that. In fact, the Muslim Congress then write the government, they ask them for make that be. So now morning, then they call pray. For call pray, in the all side, in suppose for the all side. People are not going to gather because everybody don't know, say this kind wahala, what would they pass. So, but for call the prayer, now proclamation for say, it don't time for pray, it don't time for breakfast, it don't time for eat sokoli. So Muslim Congress, when at the mouthpiece of the Muslim them, that the country don't write to government, it remind them that get for the happen, the adhan get for the happen, especially in the morning, where that's crucial for let people then know say, hey, it don't time for eat sokoli, then it don't time for stop for eat sokoli.
So that's get for the happen.
Inshallah, that get for the happen.
The last 10 days inside fasting, Muslim can pray that all night prayer.
Yes.
And most of the time, now then sheikh and imam they can lead them prayer. And the Muslims, some are not sabi for lead that prayer. How they get for do in this crisis?
Well, that make we don't tell the earlier man they can practice now. We will not sabi read, we dey pan practice. You not get for rely on posting. We camp on God business. We all together, we put one person before for pray. But not mean say, now that man they no more sabi read do. But good people are intimate behind that man, they themselves sabi read. The one they will not sabi read, right now, then they power them up. This time around, a family man, wherever you sabi, you get for read them. Because, me say, power part, na a particular person for read. He read the way to you able. Read the way to you able.
You don't talk say the azan get for the continue amongst them. How we get for talent?
Then they make the adhan where nobody know the goodie. Now for send the signal say don't time for pray. For send the signal say don't time for
breakfast. What then get for the do them thing?
We caretaker, we get muazzin there. Where then they do them. Any mosque get security, you get the muazzin, you get the caretaker. Now then get for the dua.
Waiting will be your message to Muslim them in the month of Ramadan where they can start and serve. Waiting on as religious body then they expect for Muslim them for practice all the measures them the government don't put in place.
As Ramadan they come with a wish everybody happy Ramadan. Let we know say we not lost nothing. God Almighty they reward you based on your intention. Innamal a'malu binniyat. All the years this was very strange this time around. For what we did, we know they rub skin during the month of Ramadan, we know they see we safe. And they're very sad. But in Islam, they get one parable, they say, Al-Maslahatul Amma Qaddam. The general benefit, now for take the lead. If something they we now for save all the people, something they we everybody go benefit from, now in we they apply, now will be, now we they give priority. So this time around, this prayer with the prayer now we houses them, will they come back that culture we been there during the prophet in time. Because this tafila, the prophet in time, they not been they do in congregation. The protocols them of this coronavirus, now things them we they inside with teachings them. We then tell you, they not tell you, we be not apply them long thing.
Well, in the public relations officer for the Australian Muslim Congress, Sheikh Ali Khalib, they talk to Kabia inside our interview there, who say they encourage Muslims them for abide by government rules and regulations them for fight against COVID-19 is this month of Ramadan, as he call on them not for gather together because ban still on public gathering. The program na Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for a Democracy 98.1 FM.
The program they continue. Don't forget we still get with two studio guests them now the program. One from the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, where na Mohamed Silassi say it there for tell we but the postponements we don't day on the MPSC we usually picking and can take first week in May and serve the Beke exam we can be in June. Serve don't postpone the two exam them go get for happen now inside July as in they propose. It there they tell we about that and measures them where the ministry don't put in place for ensure say the picking them while then are also they're able for complete the syllabus them because of the exam. We also get a feminist na the studio where na Serie Kuruma Ideaso from the Feminist United Sierra Leone and Allies then serve do a survey on the impact of the coronavirus on markets woman them. So in case you get any comments or question for them, now for send to 077 officer line 981981 and add your voice to the program. We can talk to them just but let we just quickly go and make some money.
Better don't come. Now Union Trust Bank again. Union Salone Banco. Union Trust Bank get plenty products and services there for you. must get waiting you want to go better. Let we savings account, ide. Current account, ide. Fixed deposit account, ide. Credit facility, ide. All for you. Me and you. Me and you. Union Trust Bank Salone for me and you. Kids future savings account, ide. School fee savings account, ide. Pay advance salary scheme, ide. We branch and they all up at Nasalone. Boko no kenema, we ide. Kabala mabogo kakambia, we ide. Jala Freetown loan sa, we ide. And my 91, me and you. Union Trust Bank, me and you. Union Trust Bank, Union Trust Bank Salone for me and you. Union Salone Banco, Union Trust Banco.
Union Trust Bank, empowering Sierra Leonean businesses.
Alright, the program they continue and we come over to the studio guests them. They go over to Mohamed Silasisi from the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. You be done to tell you about the postponement of the two exams here and waiting I don't put in place for ensure say the beginning continue for LAN while then are host because of the coronavirus. But this BNTM we see the ministry set up the Education Emergency Task Force. We go on for waiting the responsibility of this task force.
Oh, well, yes, we get an education emergency task force. This body, the body we dedicated to ensuring that the picking them, even though they're in the house, they continue for access education. Now, make so, for example, we get the radio teaching program. We intend for improve on that program there as well, using some other channels for them to reach out to the picking them. The body, apart from ensuring that learning continues, even during the stay-home period, then also they lead the process of preparing for the eventual reopening of schools. Because, I mean, Pambulem will know, say, no matter how long it takes, school them must open one day. And if school then get for open, we get a lot of things that will get for put together. And so this committee, then they look into their activities then they, and ensuring that when schools they open, we picking them and we teach them, they return to school they way safe. Because remember, say even like during the Ebola, let me get for you some of the schools them as holding centers, some of them even as treatment centers. So before we open schools, we've been able to put together a lot of things, including disinfecting their schools there. So this body now, the body this way dedicated to doing all of the activities here. Now I make so we divide into pillars. The members them then they according to the pillars.
How do they make up the membership of the body?
Well, now senior officials of the ministry, we the leadership of the ministry get confidence in for head them various units there, and each of the units here, the ministry, the chair, but a co-chair from any one of the partners, especially with donor partners. For example, the comms, the communications pillar. We comms unit, now in the chair, in the person of Mr. Sharif, but then the co-chair now UNICEF. We get the continuous learning where they do their radio teaching programs there, where now the chair of the Teaching Service Commission and the chair, but co-chaired with the European Union. The one for school reopening in particular, where now myself now the chair, but I did co-chair with the World Bank representative. So that's what we do all of them things there, so that anytime we get meeting, the meeting will be exclusively Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. You get partners them also. And all other NGOs that really work in education and civil society groups, now members of one of them groups there.
You mentioned about pillar them and you don't talk about some of them. Waiting at them pillar there so and waiting at them work inside this organization.
Well, I think I mentioned them briefly. For example, the comms and our communications basically. They're responsible for sending out messages and also looking into the social mobilization. You know, we therefore they go around and make sure say people can get the correct messages, because family them will know say the literature way they out in the public domain, he look a bit confused. One moment they will tell you saying that this, next moment that so somebody they say this thing is airborne and so on and so forth. You know, so we get for really make sure say the right messages and in the reach will pick in. Now we don't try for collect even them mobile numbers so that from time to time we go to send messages to them. And then we get the one that we're responsible for make sure say the picking and they continue for land. And so then they do the radio teaching program. And so then they also think about other ways that we then go able for make sure say the picking them able for get lessons using other medium. Them, you know.
Tentatively, when I don't postpone them to exam at the MPS and the Becker to July 2020, we all see, following international news, we always see countries them we don't reach the peak of the fight, the way how it torments them and how long it don't take na them countries and they. Although we na Salone not reach we peak it, we don't know how long it will get for take and how the people them go abide by the law for let them able for control and contain the sick for letting not spread past how it is so. But looking at the July date where on they postpone the exam then too. The exam and one them where they picking them where they take them, we can see them they get pre-exams them when they can call mock or so before then they reach to the exam itself. We go reach at that stage where the picking them go get for day na us for go through them pre-exams and where they can take before then go take the MPSC and the Becker.
Well, what we don't decide is this. Family for those in the first place, then question papers them where would they take the exams with, not even Salone, they print them. You know, they print them outside of here, way in Ghana. And so if you want to conduct the exams, we go for airlift them. And family no say, airport them closed right now. So it's not even possible. We explore all of them possible.
And talk about the classroom pre-exam, where they can get at them.
Well, yes, I make we say, this July date would set so, now for let we able for get something for work towards. Whilst we will continue to assess the situation. It will depend. I would rather say it situationally depend on the circumstances we're going to prevail at the time. But then if you not set targets, sometimes you will just relax. You say, well, I mean, I not need even for worry. Even for the picking them. If you don't get a target for them, they will not relax. They're not going to even study them. But now they know say that July, even the parents are going to say, hey, the exam they come on in July. So they're going to prompt them, so they're going to study. But then we're not going to just open them straight to exams. We go make sure say school open, then go to school, go get them tuition. We go accelerate learning. You know, we go make sure say we put speed by the learning so that they go learn quickly the basic things that they need for know before they go take the examination.
So
no, we just left them.
As it is now, the only interactive session where they between the picking and the teacher them way on they use right now. Now where they can open telephone lines them for lady picking them, they call and ask questions during the session, then they because don't they listen to them. But for example, some private schools there where some picking there, we see them get a package where then they give the picking them for gonna us. Like then they continue their syllabus, then go do work and submit them back later at the school them. The government schools them they think of getting a package where sometimes on one for the test the picking them for know if then they follow the radio teaching program where then syllabus they continue it.
Oh yes, now I make a say initially that we will continue for really engage for see how we will make this whole thing better. Yeah. Because we recognize, say for example, picking them go listen to the lesson, but they not get opportunity for ask questions straight away for let the teacher able for respond. We look at which arrangement we will make such that we will able to get back to the picking them with responses to them questions. We look at all the possibilities there, including for also do waiting them private schools that they do so. But mind you, we don't schools them plenty past the private schools them, and so then it will take a very, very serious planning. But yes, we will consider for do that very, very seriously.
All right, continue for the week at the studio. Mohamed Silasise from the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education.
And we still get Teria Kurma, founder Feminist United Salone and allies. They are for talk about one survey we then do for know about the impact of COVID-19 on Makitum and them. Teria, before we go for a break, we're going to talk about the reason for the survey. And when I don't do this survey, somebody go look for know the outcome of them. But before I take you to the outcome, take me through the process. We wanna go through for get then data there so.
Oh, okay. So, first of all, we respondents them, purely Makitum and them, and we target 390 Makitum and them, where in a population size, we reflective of the 5,000 Makitum and them, where we understand say Freetown City Council intend for distribute marks to. So, maybe I can just talk on the purpose.
It's good that we know the process and procedure and what we do for arrive at the conclusion. You talk about the sample size when at 390 among women, and you mentioned we Freetown City Council plan for the mark. So is it that this survey will Freetown will conduct them?
Yes, we target 6 markets them, Freetown, and just as I established, the subset population we look at, 390. So the reason we decide to do this, because we quite aware that we there in a very extraordinary situation, and of course the president don't make a call for make Sierra Leoneans them come together and support this fight, and we as a team we personally impressed so far with the support system we get from different organizations and even individuals, yeah. So a lot of people contribute to the process in different ways. So some prefer to do donation of buckets, hand sanitizers, and other things. But we as a team, we decide, say, as inspired as we had been, we decide, say, we support the process from a data analytical approach, wherein we can able to use data for analyze the existing situation. So the relevant stakeholders then will be able to see how far the progress when they make concerning the COVID response effort is concerned. So 2 things we wanted to achieve with the survey. One are for source the understanding of market woman them on the coronavirus, yeah, and also we want to know the social protection impact of the coronavirus on market woman them. So we understand say the market woman them like mostly can fall under a category where we consider for the low income earners, yeah. So how then they cope with the economic shock in this term, yeah? Because and one of the things that we find out is that 96% of market women them say like then they buy goods more expensive, yeah, this time, and even less than they sell less. 96% and they buy more expensive, and then they sell less.
Now some of the findings that they go through. So
now done on one of the findings where relates to it, they say.
So take me through the findings then now.
Okay. So we've been look at different questions then, just as I say. One we want to understand the perception level around the whole coronavirus fight. So we ask them. Most of them understand what in corona mean. So 11% of the respondents then say they don't know what in corona mean. Yeah. So for we
11%, what not been the percentage rate? 11% over what within? 20 or over 30
over
or over
100.
15?
Over 100.
Over 100.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 11% say they don't know. They don't want to hear about coronavirus. So for we consider Nande as a huge gap, especially now that we need for heightened sensitization efforts. So every Sierra Leonean will understand the impact of coronavirus, and with this existing gap, one of the recommendations, I mean, because what we want to achieve, not for only analyze the data, but for also provide solutions where relevant bodies then will include into the response strategy for support the whole process, yeah. So we don't identify, say 11% gets a huge gap with understanding waiting coronavirus means. So it means the government and relevant bodies need for develop messages in a more simplified way. How do we improve on our messages? How do we get the messages across to people? How do we go to their communities, yeah? So within the markets, then get a lot of influencers then, yeah? And one of the recommendations are that the government make use of the chair ladies, then get executive persons within the market. So it's about identifying the information gap with that. And also 19% say they don't know what in social distancing mean. Yeah? At this time, Master Sabi people and they lay more emphasis on the need for make we get for there at a reasonable distance with one another. And the market environment is so congested. Yeah. Right. So it's a concern. How do we how do relevant bodies scale up efforts for ensure say people adhere to the social distancing practice?
Okay.
And also 34% say they not get access to water for what they earn them. Yeah. And 64% say they not get access to hand sanitizers. So we know say market woman and in fairness my situation where they now go probably get the time always for the wash their hand. But by making available hand sanitizers, it means they can at least, intermittently, wash their hand and we go help as far as the preventive mechanisms are concerned.
All right, continue further with me the program. Terry Kuruma, I'm founder for the Feminist United Sierra Leone and Allies. As you talk about survey findings we wanna do to market woman and body impacts with the coronavirus. Don't get some then so far. The program Good Morning Salone they continue where they take short commercial break and look at more issues.
GhanaSongs.org.
They causing confusion.
But this confuse me, boo. Look where Uncle Nat in Wall Solid. Look him block them with them beat for them, where they save solid. And at the same amount of cement and sand then they use for beat me on. But look what in the happen. Me wall down for them, all the block they all don't scatter. It like say some kind magic they behind this. You want to know the magic behind this? Now the superior quality, extra strong, extra life and extra yield cement we are the use, and that's not Dangote 3x Portland limestone cement. Dangote cement na the highest grade cement in the country. We na 42.5 R grade cement. We no one day come na this country, and na one of the highest grade pan cement where you go get na the wall. Where you want you concrete, wall and block solid, use Dangote 42.5 R cement. You no go regret them. You go get Dangote 42.5 R cement na online shop and building material store na the one whole country.
The program you listen to na Good Morning Salone, we come to you from the Society for a Democracy 98.1 FM 8:32 na the term, and we continue for look at more issues inside the program Good Morning Salone. We dey go na court, we say inside one court ruling na inside one high court ruling, Justice Monfred Cisse don sentence 5 people to death by hanging because they join hand for kill one Tom Davis Jr. on Upper Tengbeton. We court reporter Usman Kamara get more. He gonna reports.
One High Court judge, Justice Monfred Cisse, don sentence Sines Cisse, Abubakar Cisse, Sheriff Cisse, Ibrahim Kanu, and Alaji Conte to death by hanging because the court found them guilty say Thursday, March 30, 2017, na Upper Tengbeton. Them join hand together for kill one Tom Davis Jr. Then 5 convicts here be appear before Justice Monfred Cisse na High Court for answer to murder and conspiracy contrary to law. Justice Monfred Cisse continue say Dr. Simeon Owis Kroma, when are the government pathologist in findings, show say na chook them in chook the late Tom Davis Jr. we make him in die, and other evidence then same way so prove that. A continue say the prosecution we lawyer Joseph A.K. Cisse the lead been come with 5 witnesses them will be testify inside this case. Inside this case, the party for the late Tom Davis Jr. been talking a court say the number 1, 2, and 5 convicts them been gone at the late Tom Davis Jr. in O's, and later the late Tom Davis Jr. been take him back for go take class. And after class, the number 1, 2, and 5 convicts them been team up na road outside them seize him bag and give the late Tom Davis Jr. Iba feather, and Abubakar Cisse been chook Tom Davis Jr. na in chest with long nerve we make him end up die. For take all the evidence here, Justice Monfred Cisse been sentenced them 5 people here to death by hanging. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Mina Usman Kamara, the reports.
Alright, well from that report the way Usman Kamara go from courts, we still deal with issues we get for do with legal matters them, and now we can listen to an interview with the public relations officer at the Sierra Leone Bar Association, Tijan Israel Jah, don't say inside one letter where the general legal counsel write, they confirm say the current master energistra not get requirements for the master energistra na salon. Well, this come after one interview where the democracy been so air Usai one legal practitioner when Augustine Suri Sembe Mara been raised concern about the qualification of the current master and registrar. Tijan Israel Jawen, the public relations officer for the Salone Bar Association, explain more to Mange Mansare inside this interview.
Several members of the Bar Association take up this issue. So they write we as executive, and the executive directs then letter them to we various representatives on one, the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, and two, the Council of Legal Education. Up to now, we not get reply to the letter we representative on the Judicial and Legal Service Commission right to the Secretary of the Chief Justice for me them provide minutes as to how the recruitment and subsequently appointment of the now Master and Registrar come about. But also, one of we member when Mr. Augustine Marabi also copy a letter, not only Mr. Augustine Mara, several other lawyers then be send a letter to the General Legal Council. They inquire as to whether Madam Ellen Bola Clarkson qualify for be a lawyer within the jurisdiction of Sierra Leone. Of recent, and I'll get a response from General Legal Council. And then talk say in the letter, say number one, Madam Bola Clarkson not enroll in the roll of court or register as legal practitioner in Sierra Leone. And secondly, Madam Ellen Bola Clarkson not get the exemption where council can give legal practitioners pursuant to section 15 of the Legal Practitioners Act number 15 of 2000 as amended. So therefore, in your estimation, by virtue of waiting council don't say Madam Ellen Bola Clarkson not qualify for whole position as the Master and Registrar of the High Court of Sierra Leone.
This one one of our member Augustine be don dey push for, and now clarification don't dey. You know feel say what Augustine do na in the bar for don't do.
Augustine, like any other member of the bar, did what was necessary. But we said we don't do our own research. In fact, when we heard this thing, we contacted the necessary parties before Augustine letter come and other people. Number one, when this incident happened, the Chief Justice was actually out of the country. Number two, if you now be listening Augustine interview yesterday, it talks say it has taken 2 months. The bar president or the bar association not reply to in letter. Now one say there was even a case in the High Court and also in the Supreme Court. From the High Court order, then put injunction on GLC, including the fact say they're not for choose or elect a chairman of General Legal Council, which actually frustrated the work of the GLC. In addition to that, they also get the case in the Supreme Court, where they stay the High Court matter, and the case now as recent as either 3 weeks or more ago, we then finished for Donner case, and judgment was delivered. So actually, we not a rush go ahead of things. We relied on our representatives, now Judicial and Legal Service Commission, for communicate back to we whatever might have happened or obtained during the interview or recruitment and or appointment of Elaine or Madam Elaine Bola Clarkson, and we representative on General Legal Council.
But now it don't come out clear from the letter from that it not qualified. Now your position, what's not the ask now for?
So the law is clear. The bar always stand with the rule of law, and we always strive for uphold the rule of law. So in the instance case, we would write to the Chief Justice. I'm sure GLC go don't send their own copy of their findings to the Chief Justice. We will write to the Chief Justice and urge him to do the necessary or take the necessary course of action and make sure say another person or a new interview is conducted for whosoever needs to occupy that position.
So you know feel say due diligence for don't be happen. Pulla you get for put down the so you know feel say na a lapse on the inside that they not due diligence.
I would not speak to whether or not the judiciary did due diligence on the recruitment and then subsequent appointment of Elaine Bola Clarkson. What we concerned about was the fact that Chief Justice is the administrative head of the judiciary. Now, in conjunction with the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, they appoint or they recruit judges, magistrates, as well as masters and deputy masters and registrars of the High Court. So in all we own belief, we feel say when somebody apply for that position, the requisite document and credentials will be made available to all members on the commission, and then scrutinize them document then they, and then the people there or the people there where they apply or the applicants for them position, the interview, whosoever emerge successful, then they go put in the position. Of course, those are well-known provisions of the law. We know they expect anybody on Judicial and Legal Service Commission for bypass them provisions then they or do otherwise. We expect say everybody for done like how they can do with judges and magistrates and go through the normal interview processes. Whosoever emerge, they aggregate their scores and they appoint them. That's what. So whether due diligence was done or not, it was actually not our own purview for going to that. We were of the belief that everything presumed to be regular. They did the correct thing, and then Elaine Bola Clarkson was appointed as the Master and Registrar of the High Court.
Well, that's the Public Relations Officer at the Sierra Leone Bar Association, Tijan Israel Ja, been talking about that interview there with Mange Mansari for Seka. The issue we get to do with the Master and Registrar na High Court, and according to that interview they will do, then say letter will come out from the Legal Council, the General Legal Council. They should say the current Master and Registrar not get the requirements them for the Master and Registrar na Salone. Well, the program Good Morning Salone they continue, and we still get with studio guests them na the program. We they continue with the information where they give about quickly. We they go on the line, and as we get the spokesperson for the COVID-19 response, we na Solomon Jamiru. If people can remember 2 weeks back, information we been come out from State House now that the country they on curfew and self inter-district lockdown as measures them we then they continue for put for ensure say they contain the coronavirus not for spread all over the country. Well, the 2 weeks they come to an end this weekend, and we won't forget update as to waiting get for happen now where the 2 weeks they come to an end. Good morning and welcome to the program, Mr. Jamiru.
Good morning, 98.1. Good morning, my family.
Alright, as I just don't state, the 2 weeks where now 14 days where the release we come out State House been they indicate say we get inter-district lockdown and self curfew where they run from 9 to 6 a.m. go come to an end tomorrow, and people then go want for know where the curfew they come to an end. Waiting next.
Thank you very much. So the status now is there will be a meeting. The matter is being reviewed. We get a meeting this morning, and one for Ashome Fambul then say before the end of today we don't communicate the position to the public.
Right. In as much as the people and the wait for you from Una as to waiting for happen next after the inter-district lockdown and curfew where they end tomorrow. Let me just get a quick rundown of waiting at some of the impacts where this gets towards the fight against the coronavirus. The inter-district lockdown and the curfew where we all don't go through. Waiting at the impact when I find out say it make towards the fight.
Well, I think say it makes some difference. It may not be 100% because, say every measure they take within the context of the fight against COVID-19, it gets in your advantages, it gets in your dividends where it yield. So, but it always they give an opportunity because the COVID-19 thing, where they transmit from person to person, we realize say if we're able to limit some movement, then we also they put a pause on the movement of the disease. So indeed, the epidemiologists them they advise say when you can get lockdowns, especially in the inter-district lockdowns and the curfews, it give them and also healthcare workers a lot of time for move and maneuver, able for trace, for identify cases and isolate. But we look at the whole issue comprehensively, and we're able for advice on the next position we will for take. But if me fumble them also they notice I also don't they engage on Facebook and they make generic responses to comments the way they come up, and I always want for be forthright. Me always believe say if I for always prepare the minds of the people. You remember yesterday when I did a studio middle, I talk say when you the trigger community transmission, now a very delicate stage in the fight against COVID-19. And me want to tell me family and say at that stage they are so with the rise in the figures in the Western area, with figures showing up in Kenema, Potloko, Tonkolili, we people for expect, say, we can take any extraordinary measure at any time, but we always inform them ahead of time. And so Mando begin talk about whether there will be a lockdown. I talked yesterday, say all options are on the table, and it's very important for me to take their measure. But whether or not we get for lengthen the lockdown upon expiration or the curfew, dear our family and bear with we. But before the end of today, we will communicate to una definitively what in the position on that.
All right, finally, as you say, we will wait for the next position where una go get for Pulnado before the day end. During the curfew and the inter-district lockdown where they end, so people be the raise concern as una they look at ways forward and different things where they on the table. The issue of the curfew, one main concern will be come up now that una they allow people for the out throughout the day, Makituma them for example, other big spaces, and those people they interact throughout the day, and even time una let them rush again for gonna host to them families, them where people believe say then a recipe again for spread the virus, because throughout the day people hear about them business and even to everybody they rush for go. When I get any lesson where una don't learn moving forward in terms of the curfew and the time where una give for let people they rush for go back home?
Well, I think say when we can take them measures, then the objective now for limit movement as much as we can. So I don't take this observation in very good part, and I think that we and the experts them go review and see how we go to tighten them as we get along. So the issue about movement, I will just share sample them with me one of the experience that we get. For example, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, when we establish a task force on COVID-19, one of the measures that we will take now that if you know to essential staff, for example, we can tell you, say, okay, not come. When we need you, you can come. We can put people on rotational basis 24 hours. So that way, we'll be able to limit even the entrance of staff into the facility. So the curfew, you are right. That's one of the things where I think say, may not have been managed effectively, but it is causing a lot of success. So we say the lapses today, we're going back to the drawing board. So eventually, if we have another curfew or if we have another lockdown, some of the lapses we experienced in the previous scenario, we should not experience them in the subsequent scenario.
Because them in terms of recoveries, more people wait on time when I don't put on quarantine, and the death increase we see don't go to 2. Anything don't change from last night to now?
Pardon me?
Anything don't change now the figures them way on a give last night. Also we don't get 2 confirmed deaths. Any figure don't change from last night to now?
So yesterday we talked about what's in a position. The next position they come up today by 11 o'clock, and certain things don't change, and we go inform the public accordingly.
All right, many thanks to you, Solomon Jamiru, spokesperson for the COVID-19 response, for that update that you give, and we go inform people as we get information from one about the curfew and the inter-district lockdown where they done this weekend. The program Good Morning Salone, they continue.
And text message them now we Facebook page and on the 0779819819, and attempt now for me we go and take one and message them. The first one we at the take say, Mr. Sise, is the radio program you have in mind to complete the NPS and Becker syllabus for pupils without formal class teaching?
All right, this other one say, please ask the young lady in the studio talking about feminism to please highlight some of the issues that are happening in the country that indicate inequality between men and women.
This one say picking them na me area not even know about this teaching program. This na for sure say the program not that effective, and this na big disadvantage to picking them, and this go make them perform poorly by exam.
This other one say, good morning, Radio Democracy. I want to thank the radio teaching program team. But what about those who are living in a far remote area? They cannot benefit from such program. It comes from Mara na Kombili City.
This one say, Mr. Sise, thank you for the timely information concerning the postponement of NPS and Becker. My question is that will we be having a third term for this academic year?
This other one say in case WHO does not announce the COVID-19 is over, I want to know if the Beke NPSC or WAS will be ongoing in July. It comes out from Salad Lux.
This one say you only mention about MPS and Beke. What about WAS?
Alright, to look at more messages. This other one say, does your finding indicate that the market women are ready to stay home to fight the coronavirus instead of going to the market with others and be infected?
This one say, as today is the start of the holy month of Ramadan, I'm using this medium to wish Muslims and non-Muslim a happy Ramadan as we are observing the whole. Okay.
Alright, this other one say, my sister in the studio, I'm one Sierra Leonean that will always be against feminist ideology because it go against my Islamic belief, especially in the area of women leading prayers where it is unacceptable in my religion. They come out from Mystic.
Okay, the last one from me for now say, waiting una go do for school them, we not complete then syllabus and the entries then 8.
Alright, from the message and they will come over to the studio, guest them for respond. And we begin with Mr. Sise from the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education for response to the concern the way people that raise.
Yeah, well, I tell family and plenty, thank you. I think say plenty of the questions and they around the radio teaching program. Well, I want to concede say, yeah, probably like how the listener say, the texter, he say beaucoup people are not aware. Well, we go continue for intensify we awareness raising. We comes department, they work very hard now for try for make sure say the public is fully informed of this very important intervention. As a matter of fact, I've been mentioned say we are aware say we radio alone not able to reach out to every corner of the country, and therefore we're in partnership with community radio stations. And I'm pretty much sure say before not too long from now, every part of the country will be connected. Because even just yesterday, we don't try for make sure say they want the way the BNB and Kabbalah and then we're able for benefit. And we partner with CRS and they make it possible for the local radio stations they're able for air we radio lessons. Somebody they say if not the radio teaching program no more we are open for complete the syllabuses. Well, not actually. I've mentioned now, I say whenever schools they open, we will make sure we give the picking in time so that the teachers they will get an opportunity for them speed up for help make sure say the picking them able for complete or almost complete the syllabuses we go make them able for go take the examinations. Now it makes sure we concentrate more on examination classes so that when schools they open the picking and will be fairly ready for the exams. Somebody they say if we will get a third term. Well, normally when that year happen, as long as the calendar, the year calendar don't become interfered with, whenever we go for open school, we go reorganize them for make sure say the picking and get the tuition where them is supposed to get. We go revise them. Whether we get third term or not, I'm not going to foresee it. But it look more and more unlikely that we will get a third term. But whenever we resume, we go reorganize the term calendar for make sure say we able for catch up. Somebody they ask about the WASC. He said that NPSC and Bekenamo. Well, yes, probably I don't be say that at the beginning. We will talk about the NPSC and the Beke because they were national examinations. Well, now we don't examine them as Sierra Leone. So we get right for take a decision as to when will they take them or when will not they take them. But the WASC, family them go know say in international exams, not to we no more depend. And so we not get right for interfere with them at all. But I know say why International will not make a press statement where they say then they put that exam on hold until further notice. They don't put any date for them. They say that they put the exam on hold. So I should say let's have they review the situation. When they think say it's conducive for let them conduct this sub-regional examination, then we'll make clear.
So in terms of the radio teaching program, when I get any plans for collaborate with the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists and the Independent Radio Network, because we see them get a larger platform where they get the radio stations them all over the country where they can work with for national broadcast.
Well, yes, I mean, no indicate say they still continue for actually discuss and see how we will make the program better. Now that we seem for the get concerns from members of the public, say we know they reach out to plenty listeners, we go probably explore that possibility. But I'm not going to say matter of factly that we go collaborate with them. But high probability they say we engage with them bodies they have will make the program more effective.
Somebody will ask, what about the schools and we do not complete the entries? Then we'll get any situation like that?
I don't know what you mean by complete the entries. I think you talk about complete the syllabuses.
Syllabus and entries. We are the backend PSC entries them. So well, mean the name of picking that we get for seats.
No, well, we don't receive all of the entries. I mean, then that process they be not done. Okay. We think we left no more now for let and take the exam. We don't process the entries.
Okay.
As I talk to you, so the syllabus I don't say they use the radio teaching program, but not to me no more. As a matter of fact, the radio teaching program is just a remedial measure.
Okay.
Where we reopen schools, we will see how we go deal with this.
Okay, thank you very much, Mohammed Sila Sise, Director of Inspectorate, Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. We come to our next studio guest. We Nateria Kurma from Feminist Salone. If they have to talk about the survey, text them come for you, you go respond to them.
Yeah, so the primary focus of the survey now for identify the gaps and the lapses where they exist within congested areas, in this case the markets. Yeah, so with that information we able for do an analysis and provide a recommendation to relevant bodies. We go guide the process and see the need for improve on areas we need for be improved on. Yeah, so yeah, that's the goal. And we from the survey we understand say 92% of women them know they wear masks, and that is a concern for we. So one of the recommendations now for lay relevant bodies mobilize influencers within the market. We go likely even like do the we go lead the emulating, we'll go take the emulating role for put on marks them, so other market women then go see and follow.
Okay, somebody send a text message whether una survey directs the people and say una see them go which was it on us if there is any
well
need.
I make I tell you say we primarily using now for assess the preventive mechanism so far where they exist within the marketplaces. Yeah, and having established that we don't able for no say now 34% of women them not get access to water for washing hand them, and 64% not get access to hand sanitizers. Yeah, so that is it. And we encourage media houses, civil society organizations for references, for feel free for reference the report. You can access them by going to gaptracker.org. You will get a detailed analysis of the report.
Although we look at the sample size we give earlier, 390 out of 7 million population, we most, according to research now, women them, and most of them engage in petty trading. And take into consideration, out of 16 districts, we now do a survey in one district. How universal or valid do you think say this report therefore reflects the view of the wider population of Sierra Leone?
Well, firstly, I established na Freetown no more we target. Yeah.
Yes. So
we know.
You think say this go inform national action? Would then go use this data for take national decision?
If I want to need to understand that as situation is, Freetown seem to be the hot spots for COVID-19. Yeah. So we consider this drive for be a right step for be a step in the right direction. As far as responding or as far as containing the virus within the Freetown municipality, we're all aware of how congested the city can be, and the marketplace is now one side where most people can happen for attendance of people from all walks of life. Yeah, so if we're able to identify gap in that area there and provide solutions to relevant bodies where we expect say will integrate into the national strategy on the response efforts, we consider them to be very laudable. And another question come again, where the person asked me for highlight the inequality issues. Yeah. So Sierra Leone, of course, is a patriarchal society in a sense. Like most of the sensitive positions or most aspects, yeah, are being controlled by male leadership. You look at the parliament, yeah, about 146 members of parliament. We get only 17 women members of parliament, yeah, as I speak. And I mean, I'm not even sure we have up to 6 full women ministers. So the inequality is so deep, yeah. And one of the things again where I think they affect the inequality rates in Salone now, because most people kind of they consider women them for be weak and incompetent for assume positions, and over time situation don't debunk that, situation don't counter that, because we don't experience several leadership of women that we don't prove for be exceptional, we don't prove for be less corrupt, yeah. So an incident happened day before yesterday where one newspaper publication he do a publication say we understand in a Night Watch newspaper where he title press attachés government girlfriend, something like that. We consider them for be highly derogatory and demeaning of the woman them where who they talk about, the press attachés them. Because in fact me personally I find out say I know say a lot of women them this time around where then give the press attaché designated,
but anyway
more competent, you understand? So I mean this is what society continues to perpetrate. For position women them as sexual objectifiers.
But when you look at the newspaper in caution, it's a caution that they ask. They not make a statement anyway.
No, you need for reading.
But we go get we wish for get you more na the subsequent programs then for talk on gender issues then at the program. In your name na Terry Kuruma, founder Feminist United Salone and allies. He been there for talk about one survey we then do for assess the impact of COVID-19 on market women. That we say them penalty plenty women they not get access to max and safe not get access to water for us they and them na the market them. And same way, so we get Mohamed Sila Sise, Director of Inspectorate, Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. We can talk about the postponement of the NPSC and Becker exams to July this year. I want to thank you for coming inside the program Good Morning Salone.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, now this edition of the program Good Morning Salone will left you today. Plenty thank you to producers there, Michael Sambola, executive producer, Alex Lawrence Kroma, producer, and DJ Lava we give technical support, Moses Kavura and team we make una see we live na Facebook. So till next week, Musa is camera, they say bye-bye.
Alright, and maybe Kabade say get yourself a wonderful weekend, but don't forget to continue for taking precautions them, because now me and you go agree for make the COVID-19 not spread go all parts na the country if we continue for take the precautions them way the expectancy we for take for let the sick go down. So till we meet again, get yourself a wonderful weekend.
Democracy 98.1 FM. Well, that's the program. Good Morning Salone will come to you